It was late evening when I found the message on her phone, the kind of message that burned into memory. The words were short, playful, yet heavy enough to crush years of trust built between us. My wife Anna walked into the room, her face pale, when she saw me holding the screen. She opened her mouth to explain, to deny, but the silence between us was louder than any excuse. Finally she whispered it was only one night, a mistake she swore meant nothing. Her eyes pleaded for mercy, as if one sentence could erase the wound tearing through my chest. I set the phone down slowly, my hand steady, though my heart pounded like thunder. For years I had worked late, saved money, planned trips, dreamed of futures built for both of us. I thought of birthdays, anniversaries, small surprises, flowers left on the table, all the ways I tried to show love. And now one night had been enough to undo the weight of all those years. Anna stepped closer, reaching for my hand, but I pulled away. Her touch felt foreign now. She begged me not to leave, begged me to see it as weakness, not betrayal. I looked at her, and saw not the woman I married, but a stranger who had traded love for a moment. My voice came calm but sharp as steel when I finally answered. I told her one night was enough to change everything, one night was enough to burn a house of trust to the ground. Her lips trembled, her tears fell faster. She said she never meant to hurt me, she said it was nothing compared to our life. I shook my head, telling her nothing was still something when it carried the weight of broken vows. She sank to her knees, crying, saying she would do anything to fix what she had destroyed. But I had already made my decision, and my words turned her world upside down. I told her I was leaving, not tomorrow, not someday, but tonight, because my dignity mattered more than her regret. I told her I would not stay chained to a story of betrayal replayed in my mind forever. Her cry rose higher, she begged for forgiveness, for a second chance, but I stood firm. I walked to the closet, pulled out my suitcase, and began to pack while her sobs echoed across the room. She said we had built too much together, said I could not throw it away over one night. I looked back at her and said she was the one who threw it away, I was only walking out of the ruins. Each shirt folded, each pair of shoes packed, felt like closing a chapter that could not be reopened. She screamed that I was being cruel, that she was only human, but I told her cruelty was in her choice, not mine. Neighbors might have heard her cries, but I no longer cared about appearances, only truth. When the suitcase was full, I lifted it, closed the zipper, and headed for the door. She crawled after me, pleading, calling my name, promising change. I stopped at the doorway, looked back one last time, and told her promises after betrayal are empty echoes. Then I stepped out into the night, the cool air sharp but freeing. I drove with no destination, only forward, away from a house that no longer felt like home. Friends later asked what I said, what I did when she confessed, and I told them the truth. I said her one night became my forever answer the moment I chose myself over her lies. And though the road ahead was uncertain, I carried peace knowing I had not stayed in chains. She thought I would forgive, but my answer shattered her world and rebuilt mine.